Hi, and welcome to Rainbow Unicorn Cat One channel. Remember when I made a video about all the collabs that American Girl should make? Well, this is part 2 for that video. If you haven't seen the first one, I'll put the link to it in the description box below. But you guys were really helpful, and there were some really great suggestions in the comments section, so I decided to make part 2. Plus, I remembered some other brands that I forgot to mention last time, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope American Girl gets inspired from some of these ideas and turns them into reality. And I would like to bring up Lilly Pulitzer again, just because I really love the brand. It aligns so well with American Girl values. Lilly Pulitzer is a female entrepreneur who started in 1960s when not a lot of women were going into business. So I think she's kind of a fashion icon, and also her styles are fun. And they were very influential. They were popular in the 60s, 70s, 80s. They're still popular. So I think a collab with Lilly Pulitzer, a historical collab especially, would be really great. And it turns out this year marks Lilly Pulitzer's 65th anniversary. I don't know if American Girl is doing anything about it, but that would have been very fitting. Anyway, let me talk first about some other brands that I haven't mentioned yet. And the first brand that I'd like to mention is JCrew. And, you know, it's kind of similar in style to Ralph Lauren that I already mentioned before, and to Janie and Jack. It's kind of very waspy, very classy, very East Coast brand. So, I think it's a great fit for American Girl. That collab would totally fit in with the rest of American Girl collabs. And I just think JCrew has interest in designs. They're not really groundbreaking, but they're just really classy. They're something that collectors, adult collectors like myself, would like to invest to have in our collection. Next collab was suggested by one of our viewers, and they said that basically American Girl collabs a lot with the East Coast designers, but they should really collab with designers who represent Southern Cali and New Mexico aesthetic. And to tell you the truth, I'm not really familiar with a lot of designers who design in that style. But if you do, let me know in the comments, and I would absolutely love to see something Southern Cali or New Mexico inspired. I think that would be really cool. The next designer that was suggested in the comments was Isaac Mizrahi. And I think that would work. That would definitely work. I do own a couple of his pieces. Actually, more than a couple. Anyway, I think it could be a really fun collab. Right now you can see what his style looks like. And I think that would work great for American Girl. Let me know in the comments what you think. Another viewer suggested a collab with an underwear brand like Aerie. Mostly because American Girl underwear is bland. It's just pink, right? I remember American Girl used to have a set where there were different underwear for different days of the week. I think an underwear collab would be very interesting. Teeks is another brand American Girl could collab with and have a really interesting collection. The brand is known for their flats and fun colors and patterns, and the presentation is great too. Their boxes are always beautiful. Anyway, I think this is another idea for an interesting collab for American Girl. Here's another brand that was suggested by one of our viewers, Vera Bradley. Vera Bradley has previously collabed with Disney. Let me show you the collection that's currently available. This one's Beauty and the Beast inspired. There's some Mickey and Minnie inspired pieces as well. This could definitely work for American Girl. American Girl could pick certain characters, let's say the original 3 or the original 6, and have collections dedicated to them. Or they can just do overall, you know, the original 6, and let's say have a pattern that features all 6 of the original characters. Many ways to go about it. But I think Vera Bradley is a pretty good brand to collab with. And another brand that's kind of similar is Loungefly. And Loungefly is more young, more hip brand than Vera Bradley, just judging by the demographics. They also make bags, and the style is definitely different. And Loungefly collabs with Disney a lot, so I don't see why they wouldn't collab with American Girl. Again, the same idea. Either pick a particular historical character and make a line with each of them, or American Girl can create a pattern that will feature the original 6 or the original 3, whatever they choose. Someone else has suggested a collab with the brand Happy Planner, which I haven't heard of before. So I looked it up. Basically, it's a stationery brand. It's nothing out of the ordinary, but it is really cute. This is what they have for Disney right now. And I can imagine we can have very similar inventory for American Girl themed products. The next brand that somebody else mentioned in the comments was Monster High. And if you think about it, Mattel already owns Monster High brand and they own American Girl. So this is kind of similar to what they did with the Barbie brand when they did American Girl Barbie doll. And we know, because Mattel just announced it, that there will be a Barbie collab coming out later this year. It just makes sense to have a Monster High collab as well. A lot of people who grew up with Monster High are now adult collectors. I know there are so many Monster High collectors in the doll community. I used to collect Monster High, but I kind of stopped. I still have a lot of Monster High dolls. But back to the Monster High collab, the person who commented on our previous video about this collab, they suggested that American Girl should release Monster High themed Halloween costumes for 18-inch dolls. And I think this is a brilliant idea. I think they would be really, really popular. And Monster High just got rebooted, so there are new, younger fans, and that might really appeal to them. The next collab I'd like to talk about is Sanrio, Hello Kitty, etc. And it also was suggested by one of our viewers. I think this would be a really, really popular and fun collab. The only problem I can see with this collab is the fact that Sanrio licensed out their merch to My Life As brand, which is owned by Walmart. And you know, My Life As brand created some Hello Kitty outfits last year. So this might be an issue. I don't know how licensing works. Some licenses are exclusive, some are not exclusive. But My Life As had Care Bears and American Girl had license for Care Bears. So I think American Girl and Hello Kitty collab is quite possible. Maybe not this year, but at some point in the future. The next really fun collab that was suggested to us was an old Hollywood collab. Outfits, or maybe even dolls, of Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn, even Elvis. I think those would be really, really popular with adult collectors because they represent such rich cultural history of America. By the way, did you guys know that the author of Breakfast at Tiffany's wanted Marilyn Monroe to play the main character? Look it up. It's very interesting. The story was going to look completely different from what we ended up with. Anyway, I think that the old Hollywood collab with American Girl would be amazing. The next collab I want to talk about is Star Wars, and I think this would be a really, really popular collab. The Star Wars brand is owned by Disney, and we know Mattel and Disney have been getting along pretty well lately. Mattel got back the 11-inch Disney Princess license. American Girl also just released their new line of Disney princesses, so I don't see why Star Wars wouldn't work if American Girl wanted to. And the same pretty much goes for DC and Marvel collections. I understand that they probably wouldn't be quite as popular as, let's say, Barbie. And it's because people who collect Barbies, they also often like 18-inch dolls, while somebody who is into, let's say, Marvel or Star Wars might not be collecting dolls. So the fandom's a little bit different, but I still think it would be quite a popular collab. Some people also suggested anime, especially Pokemon. And I'm going to say yes, this is an amazing idea. This would be so popular. Pokemon is still huge for elementary school children. Boys, girls, doesn't matter. I can see that collab selling pretty well. Someone else mentioned Sonic, and yes, I agree. I would buy Sonic merch for 18-inch dolls. Another person mentioned Gabby's Playhouse, which is a show on YouTube, and I haven't watched it, but it looks like it could be popular with little kids. I personally have no interest in it, but it doesn't mean that American Girl shouldn't cater to its younger fans. And now I'm just going to mention a few TV shows and movies that were suggested to us in the comments. Some are my ideas, so let's take a look. Lord of the Rings was suggested, and remember, in the video part 1 I suggested Game of Thrones, but that's just because I would absolutely buy every single item in a Game of Thrones collection for 18-inch dolls. Lord of the Rings, maybe. I do like Lord of the Rings. So for collectors, it would definitely be a very, very interesting collection for older collectors, right? For adult collectors. Another idea is a Narnia-inspired collection. It is a great movie franchise. The books are still very popular, very child-friendly. There's a fan base of a decent size, so I can definitely see this collab happening. Somebody else mentioned Titanic, and if you remember, the outfits were amazing. Do you remember all the dresses that Rose wore? I would totally buy all of them. All of them. Another suggestion is Twilight. Yes, somebody suggested Twilight. I personally do not care, but I know the fan base is huge. I know a lot of people in their 20s and 30s are big fans, so maybe it would be popular. I don't know. The same viewer suggested a Hunger Games collab, which could be really interesting. I do like Hunger Games. Somebody else suggested the show called Rain, and it is a kind of historical show, but the outfits are hugely inaccurate. They're beautiful, but they're just not historically accurate. And I don't think American Girl would do this particular collab, but why not? I personally would love to see a collab with Gilded Age. And if you're an American Girl fan, if you like the historical aspect, if you're a history nerd, you might really like this show. One of the families is based on the Vanderbilts, but most of the characters are fictional. It's just a really good show, and the outfits are amazing. And on top of that, all the outfits are historically accurate and based on the pieces that are in museums right now. I understand that none of these outfits are really appropriate for the historical characters that we have because they're supposed to be 10 or 11. However, if American Girl decided to release these outfits not tied to a particular historical character, but just as limited edition outfits, I think they would be selling pretty well. I think this is about it. I think I mentioned everything that I wanted to mention. If you have any other suggestions, let me know in the comments. There are just so many possibilities, and I'm really hoping that American Girl is watching this video and taking notes. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button. And if you enjoy all American Girl related content but not yet subscribed to us, you should definitely do so. And if you turn on the notification bell, YouTube will always let you know when we upload a new video. We post all the latest American Girl news, crafts, and unboxing. We post every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but sometimes we post on other days as well. Thanks for watching and see you next time.